2017.
Our history shows there's a dark side to buy American. Campaigns urging us to buy US-made products are as old as the Republic, but they are often shrouded in racism.
That's right, Trump's America First platform. Buy American products. That's racist. Obviously, take it from the Washington Post. 2021.
Biden proposes stronger Buy American rules for federal government, aiming to bolster U.S. industry.
Wait a minute. Just 4 years ago, that was racist. Why is that not racist now, Washington Post? You even published this opinion piece on Biden's Buy American policy.
Opinion: Biden's Buy American order has our best interests in mind, if it's done right.
What happened to the "that's racist" narrative? I'm Tyler Zed. Welcome to Zeducation. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of That Didn't Age Well. If you are new to this series, here on this series, we highlight hypocritical and lying politicians, mainstream media, and celebrities and entertainers. For example, the intro. The Washington Post, obviously, America First. That's a bad thing. That's racist. It's racist. But when Biden does the exact same thing, literally has a Buy America policy now, not a word. That's not racist. That's not a big deal. Why? Well, it's very easy to see that these propaganda places like the Washington Post, they have agendas. They didn't like Trump. They had to make him racist, whatever he did. But when it's Biden doing the same thing, no. That guy's too easy to puppeteer. We need to help keep him and prop him up. It's so apparent at this point. And in today's episode, we have more media hypocrisy. Reid from MSNBC, one of the biggest places for misinformation in the world. We have a couple examples from her. We have some Olympic stuff that did not age well, and much more. Jam-packed episode today. But first, before we get to today's top 10 things that didn't age well, as you guys already know, there is now an Instagram account where we'll be posting many of these examples on that page. That's where you can find most of the memes from Sunday's videos as well. So if you are on Instagram, please head over there. Please help us grow there, and please help us spread these examples. If you are new to this channel, please support Zeducation by heading down and making sure you are subscribed to this channel and have the bell clicked for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now, on to today's list of things that didn't age well. Number 10. Fauci has been on a campaign saying that the CDC is very trustworthy, that they don't flip-flop. But you can decide for yourself what you want to define this from the CDC. Vaccinated teachers and students don't need masks, CDC says. And just a few weeks later, this is the CDC. CDC will recommend everyone in K through 12 schools wear a mask, regardless of vaccination status, in new guidance. That's a definition flip-flop, Fauci. Number 9. Voting rights in this country are under attack right now. People are out there trying to say that we should have ID laws. You should show an ID and prove that you're an American citizen to vote. And not only that, IDs suppress communities of color. We know this. Take it from Joyce Beatty. Black women are demanding our right to vote. We're marching to the Senate to send a strong message. That's right. Even though in this country, women of color already have the right to vote. I voted today. Be sure you do too. Wait a minute. Miss Beatty, you're just talking about the right to vote doesn't exist for black women. You're demanding your right to vote, but you voted. Who doesn't have the right to vote? That is an American citizen. Please. This is such a dumb narrative. Stop. Number 8. Guys, follow the COVID rules. Just do it, okay, guys? Just do it. Take it from the Texas Democrats. From Donna Howard.
We need to follow the science here. Texas needs to change course and allow for universal mask wearing to prevent spread of the highly contagious Delta variant, especially as children under 12 cannot get vaccinated yet.
But Donna, what are you doing here? You're promoting mask wearing and you're on a plane. That's you right there. So you're telling other people, you're telling the state of Texas that they have to follow the rules, but you're not even following those rules yourself. You hypocrites. Number 7. We go real quick to the most popular presidents of all time. And his town hall the other week, it didn't do too well. CNN's Biden town hall flops, finishes behind Fox News, MSNBC with only 1.5 million viewers. Wow. Even MSNBC got more viewers? That's tough. That is real tough. The most popular president of all time. And here's a picture of that town hall, this jam-packed, most popular president of all time town hall. It certainly raises a lot of questions, you know? What happened to his popularity? I don't know. Was it ever there? I don't know. But the numbers and the ratings, these pictures, they speak for themselves, right? Number 6, sexism, misogyny, the patriarchy. It's a huge problem, guys. It's a huge problem. Take it from Vice. Inside the disturbing subreddit that sexualizes photos of Olympic women. No, that's happening. And I'm glad Vice is reporting on it. Vice is also writing articles like this. This Olympic heartthrob is more than a hot bod. Wait a minute. So it's not okay to do it to women, but you, Vice, are doing it to men. Clearly, that is what you're doing here with this article. You know, the whole point that I want to make here is that you should be a little consistent if you want people to take you seriously. What is it? Which one is it? Number 5. A while back, a man named John Thompson went into a Minnesota community and started acting like this.
I'm a black man being terrorized by this fucking Klansman right here. We are terrorized by the Grand Wizard. Y'all got the Grand Wizard living in your goddamn neighborhood. All the Klan exists in Hugo, Minnesota, and it's right here. Don't run now, racist white people. I'm here. Oh yeah, we pull up. We pull the fuck up. And we here.
Being very, very civil. Obviously, very civil. And that man actually got elected into the Minnesota House. But that really did not age well because that very stable person had this happen to him recently. A Hennepin County jury has returned a guilty verdict against Rep. John Thompson in connection with a 2019 disturbance at North Memorial Health Hospital. Ooh, problems with the law? That's the jury even found him guilty. In very liberal Minnesota, the jury found him guilty. That's tough. So I hope that Minnesota does the right thing and they remove this very stable person from the Minnesota House. We'll see what happens. Number 4. Are Olympics too easy for the U.S. women's national team and too small for women's soccer? This is the pedestal that they were put on. The same team that lost to the 15 and under boys team. Yes, that's the pedestal they were put on. And it didn't age well because the U.S. women's soccer loses to Canada, ending shot at gold. You hate to see it. I actually love to see it because this team didn't represent America. This was a very anti-American team. Why should they be playing for America? So I'm very happy personally to see this happen, but it's also important to highlight here while we're on the Olympics that the Olympics have been a ratings disaster. Tokyo Olympics opening draws a 33-year low. It's almost like when you highly politicize sports, people don't want to watch. They have had COVID propaganda jammed down their throats, SJW propaganda jammed down their throats, when all people want is an escape sometimes for a couple hours a day. That's why we usually watch sports. But that doesn't happen anymore, and luckily people are walking away from this garbage. Number 3. If you missed it, Biden was asked about Democrats wanting to defund the police, and here's a clip of that.
Not defunding the police.
And are there people who, in the Democratic Party, who want to defund the
Are there
president?
people in the Republican Party who think we're sucking the blood out of kids?
I'm not sure. Are there people in the Democratic Party who want to defund the president?
Very, very disturbing. But to the reporter's question, do Democrats want to defund the police? The answer is yes. And they actually did. DC Council passes budget slashing $15 million for police. So in Washington, D.C., they did defund the police. They cut out $15 million from the budget. And that did not age well. 3 shootings bring district's homicide count to 101 for the year. The DC Mayor Muriel Bowser directs MPD to use any overtime necessary in response to recent gun violence. And juvenile carjacking incidents quadruple in DC since 2020. So they slashed the budgets and the crime went up. So I guess the lesson here should be careful what you wish for. You got the defund the police, and this is what you got from it. Number 2. For number 2, we go back to the propagandists in the mainstream media and their hypocrisy and their flip-flopping. Just taking a stance to be against Trump or against the Republicans or vice versa, because it is on both sides in this highly politicized world we live in. But one of the worst offenders at this is Joy Reid from MSNBC. One of the worst. And we have many examples, and here are just 2. Here's the first one. on July 17th, 2021, she said,
So please, please talk to your doctor. Don't listen to wacky Facebook posts. That's not genuine medical information. It's garbage, disinformation. You're not going to turn into a magnet from the vaccine, folks. Come on, seriously? Get vaxxed and survive this frickin' thing.
but last November, when Orange Man was in charge of all this was her tune.
Frankly, the fact that Pfizer was not part of Operation Warp Speed and took no Trump government funding makes me feel better about their vaccine. Just speaking for myself, I wouldn't go near anything that Trump or his politicized FDA had anything to do with.
You know what? Joy Reid, clearly a very irresponsible and flip-flopping person, sadly has a big voice. Very, very unfortunate for the country, because clearly she spreads misinformation. But yes, I do support her other message. You should talk to your doctor and make your own decision, okay? Don't listen to Facebook posts, social media posts. Listen to your doctor. And don't listen to people like Joy Reid. Another one from 2020.
I mean, will anyone at all ever fully trust the CDC again? And who on God's earth would trust a vaccine approved by the US FDA? How do we get a vaccine distributed after this broken Trumpist nonsense has infected everything, even if Biden wins?
And in 2021.
This is the question. There are people on TV and social media pushing anti-max, anti-vax conspiracy theories, or even denying COVID is real. God knows how many people believe them and behave accordingly. And then we all meet up in crowds without knowing who's who.
Wait a minute. Hold on a sec, Joy. You're talking about anti-vax, blah, blah, blah in here. But last year, what were you? Please define yourself last year. How would you consider yourself? You're literally saying, here's what you said. YouTube, don't ban me. This is a mainstream media person. And who on God's green earth would trust a vaccine approved by the US FDA? Wow. It almost sounds like you're anti-vax there, Joy. Please, please, please address this. Please address your flip-floppage. And there are many examples. We could probably compile a list of hundreds and hundreds because this is what kind of a scam artist you are. But please address this. Number one. Guys, another thing you cannot talk about, all right? Another thing you can't talk about is that thing that happened in late 2020. That's over, it's done with, and take it from Biden. For those of you who challenge the results and question the integrity of the 2020 election, no other election has ever been held to such scrutiny and high standard. The big lie is just that, the big lie. Also, Joe Biden in 2013. Biden, Gore was elected president. What? You just said that no other election has been contested ever. But even 13 years after that election, you are saying that Gore won? Twitter, Facebook, can we ban him for this? I'm disgusted. I can't believe this. I really can't. And also, I want to know if all of the Democrats are going to get banned for this.
I continue to think that our voting machines are too vulnerable.
Researchers have repeatedly demonstrated that ballot recording machines and other voting systems are susceptible to tampering.
Even hackers with limited prior knowledge, tools, and resources are able to breach voting machines in a matter of minutes.
In 2018, electronic voting machines in Georgia and Texas deleted votes for certain candidates or switched votes from one candidate to another.
The biggest seller of voting machines is doing something that violates Cybersecurity 101, directing that you install remote access software, which would make a machine like that, a magnet for fraudsters and hackers.
These voting machines can be hacked quite easily.
You could easily hack into them. It makes it seem like all these states are doing different things, but in fact, 3 companies are controlling this.
It is the individual voting machines that pose some of the greatest risks.
There are a lot of states that are dealing with antiquated machines, right, which are vulnerable to being hacked.
Workers were able to easily hack into an electronic voting machine. It was possible to switch votes.
43% of American voters use voting machines that researchers have found have serious security flaws, including backdoors.
We know how vulnerable now our systems were. I know the hackathon that took place last year, where virtually every machine was broken into fairly quickly.
I actually held a demonstration for my colleagues here at the Capitol, where we brought in folks who, before our eyes, hacked election machines. Those that are being used in many states.
Aging systems also frequently rely on unsupported software like Windows XP in 2000, which may not receive regular security patches and are thus more vulnerable to the latest methods of cyber attack.
In a close presidential election, they just need to hack one swing state, or maybe one or two, or maybe just a few counties in one swing state.
Wow, I wonder, in 2018 they were saying that. Wow, I'm absolutely shocked. YouTube, I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe they're denying our process. Everyone in that video needs to be banned. Joe Biden should be banned for denying the 2000 election. I'm just disgusted, okay? The integrity of our elections, our democracy matters so much. Clearly, we have a lot of hypocrites in our system. The people that have the power right now, huge, massive hypocrites, liars. The evidence is everywhere. It's all around us. In this video alone, nobody should trust these people. My mind is continually blown how anyone takes these people seriously. Let me know what you guys think. Do you trust these people that have the voices, that have the power to create this propaganda? Let me know what you think in the comments. While you're down there, please like this video. Please help me get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Education.
What must be what? Idiots.